We're going to begin today seated. So if you come into a comfortable seated position, and if it's not comfortable for you on the floor, then you can always sit on your sofa if you've got one nearby. Or you could use a block, sit up onto the block, and that can give you a little bit more height, maybe make your hips be a little bit more comfortable. Rest the hands on the knees. So lift the shoulders up to the ears as you breathe in. And then just let them draw down the back as you breathe in. So now you can let your head move from side to side. Okay, and also let your head move up and down. And see if there's any little sticky bits there, anything tight that needs attention today. Good. Now we'll just find a little moment of stillness. So if you think about your chin being parallel to the floor, the shoulders drawing down the back, and then just let the top eyelids rest on the bottom eyelids. Yeah, so gently closing your eyes. Take a moment and see how the sitting bones feel pressing downwards into the floor, into your block or into your pillow, into your chair. And I love from the sitting bones to follow the spine all the way from the tailbone up to the crown of the head. So as if the spine would reach all the way to the crown of the head. And then bring your awareness to your breathing. Just notice without changing it, just notice how you're breathing at the moment. Maybe that's the first time you've checked in with your breath today. You've checked in with how you're breathing today. And start to breathe a little bit more mindfully. So taking longer to inhale and exhale. You're really lengthening the inhale and lengthening your exhale. To do that, create more space in your body as you breathe in. So think about your belly and try and expand into your rib cage as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, you're reversing that and trying to empty yourself of stale air, but anything that you don't want to take with you into the class. The breath in, feeling that inflation. Imagine the belly inflating, the chest inflating, just creating more space for more air. And on the exhale out, expelling the air from the body, so expelling any stale air. And that could also be expelling anything that you don't want to take with you into the class. Keep going like that. Keep breathing in that way. Try for 5 counts to breathe in. And 5 counts to breathe out. And as it becomes comfortable, really start to notice the pauses in between the breaths. And exaggerate those pauses. So you might take 2 or 3 counts to pause. Maybe 5 or 6 counts for the breath in and the breath out. Let's notice if that comes easy to you. It might take you a little while to slip into it. But let this be the most important thing right now. Finding the rhythm of your breath, finding that wave. And as it becomes comfortable, your body will start to relax. The thoughts will start to get a little bit quieter. And it all happens with time and with practice. Yeah, we even have to practice breathing. So it's taking that a little step further. And take your right hand and press the top 2 fingers into the center of the forehead. And you're going to block off the left nostril with the 4th finger. And now just try and breathe in and out through the right nostril. Perhaps still doing the 5 counts for the breath in and out. Maybe the 2 or 3 counts for the pause. Maybe you feel a little bit blocked in that nostril, so you could just maybe visualize the air flowing in and out through the right side. Just notice, what do you observe as you breathe in and out through the right nostril? Could you imagine, as you breathe in through the right nostril, the left lung expanding? So the breath traveling from the right side over to the left side. And it's a visualization, it's an imagination. See if that helps you or does anything for you. Yeah, if not, just enjoy the breath flowing in and out through the right nostril. Take one more breath. When you come to your next exhale, you can just release the hand and breathe in through your both nostrils. Breathing out through both nostrils, and just notice, how does that feel? Does the right side feel a little bit more awake? Maybe the left side of your body feels a little bit more awake. And if you need to stretch out your legs, you can anytime. But we'll take the right hand back up, the top 2 fingers back into the center of the forehead. And now you're blocking off the right nostril with the thumb and just start to breathe in and out through the left nostril. Again, if this side is blocked, just visualize the breath. Just visualizing it will do something, will help anchor you within, will help bring your awareness within. Just let the rhythm that you created lull you into a relaxed place. Maybe now, as the breath flows in through the left nostril, can you imagine the right lung expanding? And see if that helps you to transfer your awareness into different parts of your body. How does it feel to breathe in and out just through that left nostril? Now balancing out both sides of your body, the yin and the yang. So we can just be in a relaxed place for this next 45 minutes without one side overpowering the other. And take one more breath here. Whenever you get to that exhale, you can lower the hand and again, just breathe in and out through both nostrils. Press your palms together. So feel the hands make that connection with each other, almost like you're creating a circle of energy. So from the hands, follow through the forearms around to your chest. Feel that connection, that circle of energy. And we'll rub the hands together nice and fast so we can create some heat in your hands. And then you can place the hands over your eyes, and then I love just to wipe the eyes and the face awake, almost like you're awakening into this moment and into the practice and into your bodies right now. Right, so let's continue. I'll lift the knees up and just take the legs out in front. Give the legs a little stretch. Give your knees a little break here. Then I want you to recross the legs, bringing the left heel in towards the pelvis and the right foot in front of the left foot. Yeah. If you need blocks underneath your knees to keep them a little bit higher so they don't put pressure there, you can use them. Otherwise, push down through your fingertips and lift up nice and tall, and then just start to fold forwards. Now see how that shape feels for you there. Now if you feel like your back is really hunched, just lift yourself up a little bit taller. Yeah, so it's not about getting down nice and low, it's just about getting where you feel good. Yeah, so maybe you creep the hands a little bit further, but re-establish that nice, slow, steady breathing. So with the inhale, so feeling yourself inflate. And with the exhale, expelling any stale air, anything that's not serving you well today. You could try using your hands to push your hips back into the mat if they're lifting off. And notice how that right hip feels. Yeah, so the right foot in front, you should feel it a little bit more in the right hip. And any pain in those knees, you're going to have the block underneath the leg so that you're not overstretching the knees. So for a moment, walk the hands over towards the left side. Okay, and I always like to try and creep the right fingers a little bit further away here, so I can really stretch all through the right side. Imagine from your right fingertips down to your right hip, all that space there. Take a breath in and a breath out. Walking your hands back to the center, and we can come up to seated. You can stretch out those legs again if you like, if you need it. And then we're going to bring the other leg in front. Right, so have your right heel close to the pelvis and left heel in front this time. Push down to lift yourself tall. Pop blocks underneath your knees if you need them, or pillows. And then walk your hands forwards. Relax the forehead towards the floor. And again, if you're hunched, maybe walk your hands up a little bit closer to your feet and try and have the chest drawing forwards. Yeah. Let that rhythm of the breath help you to sink into this shape. Yeah, remembering we don't want the sit bones to lift up off the floor here. We want to try and root the sit bones down into the mat, and then from the sit bones, extend the spine. And how's the left hip feel here? And got the left leg in front. You should feel it a little bit more in that left hip. Everybody is different, so if you don't worry. But walk your hands over to the right now. And again, if it feels good for you on this side as well, creep the left fingertips a little bit further away than the right. See if you can get even deeper into this left side, unlocking all through the left and lats side of the body, all the way to the left hip. Take a big breath in. And a long breath in. Swing yourself all the way back to the center. And then walk your hands all the way back. Okay, you can lift your knees up again if you like. Just extend those legs out again for a moment. And now we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Okay, so if you need to sit yourself up on a block, you can. Have the big toes touching, baby toes touching. Blocks underneath if you want here. Catch hold of your toes. And now draw your chest forwards and then start to fold yourself forwards here. Now, if you're pressing your big toes together and heels together, then the knees won't open to their widest. Okay, and that's what we want at the moment, just to feel your inner thighs by pressing those feet together. And then from there, pushing into the fingertips, drawing your chest forwards. Yeah, sit bones pressing down. Breathing in. Breathing in. Again, walk your way over to the right side. So you want your hands or your arms either side of your right leg. Inhale, push down through this left sit bone. And exhale, bring your forehead towards the knee. Yeah, so notice that we say towards the knee, so it might not get there, but it's towards that direction. Then breathe into whatever you're feeling right there. And what is it that you need from this shape right now? Where do you need to adjust, or how can you change it so that it feels different or it gives you what you need? Walking the hands all the way over to the other side. So taking them either side of this left leg now. And same thing, pour down through your right sit bone. Press your feet together. Draw your chest forwards. And then forehead towards the knee. And what is it that you need from this shape? So I can tell you what I'm feeling. But what is it that you're feeling? And if it's tight and stiff, maybe a bit sticky, can the breath help lubricate that area? Good. Bring your hands back to the center and then walk yourself back up. We're going to take the thumbs now just into the pads of your feet there. You're going to turn the soles of the feet up to the sky. Yeah, so, and see if that helps to lower your knees down a little bit lower. You can relax the legs, relax the inner thighs, just go where they go. Inhale, lift yourself up tall. Try and keep the soles of the feet upwards without hurting your ankles, of course. And then walk the hands forwards there. Now, if you want to kind of hunch over a little bit here, go for it. Yeah, you can let your chin come to your chest. Just let the weight of the body help you to get a little bit deeper into this pose, as long as everything feels all right. It's okay to turn inwards a little bit, curl inwards a little bit. Like a little hedgehog curling into a ball. Curling inwards for safety, for comfort, for support. Nice big breath in. Long breath out. Good. Make your way back up. All right, I'm going to bring the knees up together and take your feet just as wide as your mat. Yeah, so kind of outside of your hips. Hands can go behind you. And you're just going to inner and outer rotate those legs. All right. They always say in yoga, and it's always spoken about, that we hold emotional stress and tension in the hips. So all this work will help let it go if it's there. That combined with your imagination, with your breath, the visualization, it's all going to help unlock anything that needs unlocking. So now bringing the right foot back in front of the left, back to where we were. If you've got a block, catch hold of a block. You don't have to use the block, it's fine. You're going to have the block in your right hand and pop your left hand on the floor just by your left hip. Okay, that's if you've got a block. Doesn't matter, we don't need the block otherwise. Reach your right arm up and over your head with the block in your hand. And now just start to bend the left elbow and reach it up and over your head. Now, the block is just there to add a bit of extra weight. So you don't need it. You can do this without it. And maybe the block doesn't suit you. Maybe it adds a bit too much. So you can just pop it to one side. But try and squeeze your right sit bone down and try and get the stretch all through this right side. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Coming back up for a moment. Now walk the left fingers a little bit further away. See if you can lower your left elbow to the floor. If not, just have it slightly bent. Reach the right arm up and over the head, and then maybe you can let that left elbow rest on the floor and increase the stretch. Okay, but this is up to you. You can stay where we was. You can adjust this by lifting the elbow off. You can also take the block out of your hand. Inhale. Good. Now as you exhale, you're going to straighten the left arm and lift yourself back up. Good. Do we feel wonky? I do. Take the block in the other hand if you're using it. Right hand just by your hip. Lift the left arm up And then reach up and over, bending the arms. So you're not going to go all the way because you got your hand too close to your right hip. Let the block be heavy if you're using it, or let the arm be heavy. And then feel the stretch all through this left side. Really grounding that left sit bone down. Try not to lift it up. Now try and squeeze it down. And coming back up. Walk your right fingers away. Yeah, you might be able to get the elbow towards the floor. If not, just keep it slightly bent and then reach the arm back up and overhead. That's it. You can close your eyes and just tune into this left side. Go to where feels good for you. There's never any point in overstretching. Take one more breath. Good, and then release. Coming back up. Hopefully we've evened out. We'll take now the block, just rest it on the floor. Right hand outside the left knee and left fingertips behind. And as you twist towards the left side, keep your eyes in line with your spine. Yeah, so not overstretching the neck here. And also press your right sit bone down into the floor. Okay, breathe in to get taller. And then breathe out to draw your belly button back. You can let your left ear fall towards the left shoulder and see how that changes the stretch. You can close your eyes, tune into what is it that you need from this shape. Where do you need to unlock, to unleash? Good. Lifting the head back up and release. And take the left hand outside of your right knee and then right fingertips behind you. So this side now feels tight, feels a little bit stiff for me. So you're going to push onto the right knee with the left hand and pushing down to lift tall. Keep your eyes in line with your spine. Inhale, get taller. Exhale, draw the belly button back. Imagine that wringing out the air and the air is coming back up out. You can let your right ear fall towards the right shoulder, just exploring the left side of the neck. Breath, slow and steady. Nice, lifting the head back up and then swinging back to the center. Good, bring your knees back up. Take your feet again as wide as the mat. Hands behind you, and again, in there and out to rotate those legs. Hopefully it's starting to feel a little bit more freedom now. Begin to extend both legs out nice and straight. Now, straight is relative to you. Yeah, how straight do your legs go? Some legs don't go that straight. If you feel really hunched here with straight legs, then I want you to bend your knees so you can lift yourself up taller. Okay? Otherwise, if you're good there, you can be here. Push down through both hands to lift up tall, like you're trying to lift yourself up off the floor. And then with bent legs or straight, start to fold forwards. Yeah, you want to feel your hamstrings. If you start to fold and then the lower back collapses, bend your knees and try and draw the chest forwards. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. If you have got your knees bent, you might be able to catch hold of the edges of the feet. Maybe you can catch hold of the edges of the feet with the legs straight. Inhale, draw the chest towards your toes. Exhale and then fold forwards. Yeah, so how's those hamstrings doing today? Yeah, if you feel it all in your lower back, bend your knees. Yeah, take another deep breath in. And then another long, slow breath out. Good, let's do one more. With every breath, can you find a bit more space, a little bit more movement? Roll your way back up. Then you're going to bring your left foot to the inner right thigh. Yeah, so you try not to put the foot underneath the leg. Push down to lift up tall. Yeah, and then bring your right hand inside your right leg and start to turn your chest towards the left side. You can then bring your forearm down onto the floor, or you could bring your hand down, your forearm onto a block. And then start to take the left arm up and twist towards the left side. That's it. Now, if all is well here, just reach your left arm up and over your head, and this is enough right here. If you wanted to though, you could extend your right arm closer towards the right toes, the right foot, and then try and twist the chest a little bit more towards the left. Imagine if I was there, then I would come and place my lovely foot on the crease of your left hip. And I'd press that hip down so you could really get a nice stretch from these left fingertips to the left hip. Now, if you're feeling good here and all is well, wrap your right arm in front of your belly and see if you can twist a little bit more, maybe reaching for your right toes. Yeah, these are all options. Breathing in. Imagine now, if you wrapped your hand around your belly, that could be my imaginary foot pushing your hip down. This is all ifs, and how does your body feel here? Looking down. Push down to lift yourself up. Good. Bringing that left knee up. Extend the left leg out. And we'll do the same with the right leg. So sole of the right foot, inner left thigh. Push down as if you're going to lift yourself up off the floor to fold forwards. You can bring your left hand inside your left leg. You might put the block back there and lower the forearm to the floor. And then taking your right arm to the side. Start to twist the chest towards the right. That's it. Good. See how that feels there. Maybe you're good there. But try taking your right arm up and over your head. Okay, now if you take your awareness to that right crease of the hip, imagine I pop into your lounge just like magic and press down into that right hip. Yeah, so that stays there. You could slide your left hand closer towards the left foot. Try and twist the chest a little bit more towards the left, right. And if all feels well, wrap your left arm in front of your belly. That could be my imaginary foot, pushing your hip down, helping you to twist a little bit more. Lovely, and then release. Good, make your way all the way back up. Lovely, extend both legs out in front, and then point and flex your feet. How's those ankles doing there? I'm going to have the palms flat, fingers towards the bum, and bend the legs. So you can push down through your hands and see if you can lift your hips up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together now. So we've done lots of forward folding. This is a good place to try and stretch that out. If you've got no neck issues, then you can let your head fall back. Take a breath in. And a long breath out. Good. Sitting the bum back down onto the mat. You do the opposite of that now. Wrap your arms around your shins and try and bring your nose to your knees. I like to press my knees into the sockets of my eyes and see if that works for you. And then see if you can keep this shape, but tilt back and hover your feet off the floor. Take a breath in, let the belly expand. And a breath out, hugging those legs into the chest. Good. Coming back, release that. That's it. I'm going to open up the knees, bring the soles of the feet together, and then just walk the hips towards your heels. And we lay down onto your backs. Again, you can take your arms up and over your head for a moment. How does it feel so far? Yeah, so how's the body so far? How's your breath? How are the thoughts? Try taking a very long breath in And inflate the belly, inflate your rib cage, inflate your chest. And then open your mouth and exhale, force the exhale out so you make a real loud sigh noise. Sighing noise. And again, take a big breath in, fill yourself up. And then open your mouth and force the exhale out. Last time, big breath in. Then open your mouth and force the exhale out. So like you did earlier now, just breathing naturally, normally, that nice easy rhythm. Press your big toes and your baby toes and your heels together and try and lift the hips up off the floor. I like to do little figures of 8 here, so you can see if that is something that works for you or feels good for you. Of course, you'll not do it if it doesn't feel good. And then start to lower the spine down. Try and feel each single vertebra, especially down by that lower back. Last thing to touch down is the tailbone. And then relax the legs so those knees open to their widest. Yes, maybe there's a bit more space there now. I'm going to try that one more time, pushing the feet, especially big toes, baby toes, heels together. Lifting the hips up. Those knees will naturally go up a little bit higher. Feel your inner thighs, feel your glutes. Do a little figure of 8 if that suits. And then lower the spine down nice and slowly. Okay, and once the tailbone touches the floor, can those knees open a little bit wider? Lovely, guys. Good. Well, bring the knees back up together. Good. And then hug your knees into your chest. You can wrap your arms over the tops of the knees and then just enjoy rocking from side to side. And you know, you don't need your eyes open now. You can just relax your face, relax your jaw. Do everything by how it feels. And if you're not quite sure of a shape, you can always open your eyes and have a quick peek. But how does it feel either side of your spine? How does it feel on the tailbone? Can you press that tailbone down? How are the hips? Is this shape a little bit easier? I'm going to take the soles of the feet to the sky and hold on to the outer edges of the feet into your happy baby. Now, you can always use a strap over your feet if it's hard to hold on to your feet, or you can take the hands behind your thighs. Wherever you are, adopt that happy baby thought. Yeah, so completely happy, Googling and whatever they do, little chuckles. It was so long ago, I can't remember. Then you keep hold of your right leg and just put your left foot flat on the floor. That's it. Now, if that's enough for you, stay there. Try and squeeze your right thigh further outside of the right rib cage. And then maybe extend the left leg to the front of the mat. Yeah, and you want to try and flex your left foot. That means toes towards your face. And feel the back of your left leg on the mat. Yeah, so if that means it changes alignment or starts to feel not so good, then you can adjust that. Lift the left leg all the way up to the sky, nice and straight. We'll re-bend the left leg, catch hold of the outer foot, and then just let your right foot rest on the floor now. So how's that feeling? Can you relax this right hip for a moment? Can you encourage this left thigh towards the floor? And then extend your right leg straight. How does that feel there? Does it cause some sensations that aren't good? Yeah, and if that's the case, then rebend the leg. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Lift your right leg all the way back up to the sky. Yeah, hold on to the outer right foot, or maybe behind both thighs. Squeeze those thighs either side the rib cage. Well done, guys. Release your feet and just let both feet go up to the sky. Luxuriate here for a minute. And you can start to circle your toes, circle your ankles. So I've got my socks on so you can't see my feet. Do little circles the other way. Relax your jaw. Relax your face. Relax your eyes. I love imagining all that fluid running down your legs the wrong way, like a river magically running the wrong way. If it was to do that, it would definitely stir things up, which is what we want from this pose. Just redirecting the blood flow, helping loosen any blockages or anywhere where there's not flow. You give the legs a little shake. Try and shake those calves. Yeah, I find to shake my quads, you have to let the knees come in and out. So shaking the knees in and out, like knocking the knees together and then out. And then we can hug the knees back into your chest, keep them into your chest nice and close, and then let both knees fall to the right. That's it. Now the tendency is to let the knees fall closer towards the bottom of the mat, but we want the knees up to the top of the mat on that right side. Can you look at, actually, if you look straight up to the sky, and then just try and press your left shoulder blade down into the mat. Imagine a really wet cloth and how the water comes out of that cloth as you wring it. And then take that visualization into your digestive system here. So with the breath in, you're inflating, you're filling up. And with the breath out, you're wringing out the digestive system of anything that is stopping the flow. This whole practice just encouraging you to let go of any stagnant breath, any stagnant thoughts, any blockages of flow. Bring the knees back into the center, or just let them fall to the other side. And if it's not a comfortable place for you, you can put a block underneath your left thigh. Yeah, so you don't go down so low. Let's see if you find that comfortable place and then relax. Yeah, try not to hold on to any muscles. Gaze straight up to the sky. And with the breath in, you're expanding. Imagining the cloth, that magic cloth, wringing out the extra fluid or muck, anything you don't need. And then bring the knees back into the center. So if you have your block handy, catch hold of that now. And there's going to be a few options. So you can have your feet flat, your knees bent. If you haven't got a block, don't worry. Push down to your feet and just slot the block underneath your tailbone. Okay. And then you can hug your knees into your chest. Now, if you haven't got a block, this is like the place to come before the next pose. So maybe you can do the next pose, which is palms flat down. And you're just going to take the legs up and over your head into your plow pose. Yeah. So if you haven't got a block and plow pose is an option for you, then do that. If you haven't got a block, you could put a pillow under there, and that you could also pile the pillows up. So that's something you could play with after class maybe, and just see if lifting those hips up and how many pillows underneath the hips helps you to get into a version of plow pose. If you're happy in plow, you've got your hands supporting your back. You've got your knees bent down by your ears. And you're getting that nice deep stretch all through the spine. You don't want lots of weight in your neck. You do want space between the chest and the chin if you can. And you do that by putting more weight into your elbows. And if that's all too much, you've got a block or pillow underneath your lower back, just so those hips are a little bit higher. You've got energy flowing into the upper body and into the head. You take one more breath if you're there in plow or with the block. And if you're in plow, lower the hands to the floor and then lower the spine down. You can put your feet onto the floor and lift the hips up if you've got the block there, and then you can take the block away. Nice, guys. So take your feet as wide as the mat, let your knees press together, and just rest your right hand on your chest and your left hand on your belly. Let your eyes close. Let your face relax. See if you can feel the heart beating with the right hand. Maybe you can feel the belly inflating and deflating with the left hand. And all we're trying to do here is draw your awareness within. So even more. Hopefully you've managed to find little moments of that awareness within. Maybe there's been a few distractions, a few moments along the way where you've strayed, which is normal and natural. Feeling the hand connected to the chest and the belly. You really lock into yourself, to where you are right now, to how you feel right now. And then just letting the hands rest down by your sides. And if you like, if it suits your back, extend your legs out straight and just let the toes turn outwards. Okay, so can you let the earth support you completely? Feel the mat pressing into the back of your body. With that support, just letting your breath flow naturally, normally. You have reached possibly the hardest pose of all the yoga asanas, where we have to just be still. See if you can give yourself this moment. So it's ideal if you could be here for, maybe 5 minutes if you had the time and the space. We all have things to do, maybe you do too, so these classes are just 45 minutes. So if you need to move or are ready to move, then just start to breathe a little bit deeper with me. And very slowly just bring awareness into your fingers and feel your thumbs brush along your fingers. I always find that quite interesting, that connection to myself. And then start to move your toes. Maybe circle your ankles. And then taking a nice big yawn as you reach your arms up and over your head. It's like waking up into this brand new day. even though it might be in a different time of day for you. So there's a fresh start, whatever time of the day. We'll roll over onto the right side into your fetal shape. And when you feel ready, when you feel balanced, just making your way up to seated. And sitting in any shape that feels good for you, maybe cross-legged, maybe on that block. Bring your hands to the heart center and push your thumbs into your chest bone. Again, just making that connection with yourself. And that's what this whole yoga thing is about. It's just keeping that connection with yourself, not losing yourself in your day. A nice big breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. As always, let me know if you've got any questions. It's lovely to see you all.